So, just before I do a VIP amulet update, I want to just show a necklace of the Klong Thom archaeological bead find, semi-precious gems and stones find for my friend who asked me if I could sell this. It's from the Klong Thom archaeological site in southern Thailand in Krabi. They were actually checked by the Department of Arts and the Department of Physics and in the Faculty of Science in Chiang Mai, and the Center of Excellence in Materials Science and Technology of Chiang Mai, and the Department of Earth Sciences in Bangkok. Various colours of beads were excavated at the Klong Thom archaeological site in southern Thailand and were characterised non-destructively using proton-induced X-ray emission spectroscopy using a scanning electron microscope, basically, with dispersive X-ray spectrometer and Raman spectroscopy, to determine the glass composition and the gem composition and the production technology used in ancient times, because these are over 1,000 years old. They are from the Devara Wadi. The results showed that most of them were alkali-based matrices. Some of them are high lead-bearing glass, some of them are gemstones or mountain coral. Some found in the Mediterranean, Islamic and Indian glasses have a higher concentration of aluminium in them. So they were found from a sunken ship and washed up on the land from some sunken ships, treasures. The colors were influenced by transition metal ions content such as copper, iron and manganese, which is what gives them their texture, their tone. You can see this one is stone, it's not glass, and this one is jade. This one is jade. And you can see also jade, and there's jadeite and nephite. You can see amber, and of course glass. How did they do it? Over 1,000 years old, longer. The Dvaravadi era was the first era of Thai Buddhist arts, maybe 1,400 years ago or something. And I saw an old man with these, one about twice as big and long, and he bought it from somebody who was in debt. He bought it like a pawn shop, and he already paid $3,000 for it. And this guy, he only wants $1,200 for it. So that's for my friend. They found out that in the production technologies of these ancient peoples, there's some similarity in the Klong Thom archaeological site and other sites in Southeast Asia, South Asia, East Asia, Asia Minor and South Africa. So this indicates a historical link between the maritime networks for long-distance trade exchange in ancient times between Africa and India, around Asia and Thailand, and that these treasures or merchandise were found in an archaeological dig and washed up from a sunken ship and lost in the earth. So we'll just have a little close-up look before I go into amulets. I said I'd do this for my friend, and if not, I'm going to buy it myself, to be honest, because this is worth between double and triple what he's asking for it. So there you go, it's from Klong Thom. They've been used in ornaments and decorations in Thailand for hundreds of years. And extremely valued by southern Thai people, yeah, and a very long history to them. In the south, anybody wearing one of these in the south will be asked if they will sell it. You wear this out in the public, people will start asking you, and so you could probably, thing is, would you want to? Because once you've got these around your neck, crystals, apart from blessed magical amulets, crystals themselves have cosmic power in them, which I'd like to talk about another day, because that's something that I'm not just familiar with amulets, and I've never really talked about crystals and gems and electromagnetic powers, and that these are forged within the heart of a star, and how vibrational energy, how the pharaohs wore sapphires and rubies, and all the emperors, the great emperors, not without reason, because they knew of the power, and Chinese people know the power of jade, yeah, and other gemstones. So I'll talk about that another day. For my friend, Tabarawadi era, over 1,000-year-old necklace. Of course you can get amulets, make it to hang amulets on it, it can be restrung. And he wants 1,200 US for it, which is very cheap. So let's get on to amulets. This here is the Rien Appan Sauha 5th Lunar Saturday edition amulet from 2540. Just let me check with my lens, because I have bad eyes, very bad eyes. $2540 B Rien Appan Nang Mi Song Mi riding the apple coin riding a bear with the Yan Nam Tao, with the gourd yantra on the back, which is also Yan Phra Puttha Chao Ha Phra Ong Na Mo Puttaya and Putto Na Mo Puttaya Putto and Namapata. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't, that's just for me to read the kata around the edge. I can't be bothered. I'll do that as perhaps as an individual video. Rien Appan Luang Pho Dang of Wat Pom Raman. Yeah. So that's the Rien Appan. This is the Rien Kau Rachakan, Kau Sankarat, 9 Sankaracha monks and 9 royal kings. And known to have been blessed during the ceremony by Luang Pho Kuei of Wat Ko Sitaram. Both of those coins, not very expensive. Not very expensive at all. This is from Luang Pho Dang, Wat Khao Bandai It. Wat Khao Bandai It. เนื้อผงน้ำมัน oily herbal powders from 2519 BE with his favorite famous sacred nut in the background, on the back face, and gemstones inserted. Wait, if I just take my they are Nin stones, Nile stones, I believe hematite, not sure, or they might be rubies. No, I think they're hematite. From 2519 BE, วัดเขาบันไดอิฐ yeah. Now go to a nice, very nice coin. But that's the Wat Khao Bandai it is somewhere around the $90. And this is from Ajahn Prasud, พระอาจารย์ประสูติ of Wat Nai Tao in Huayot in South Thailand. It's a Prat Rin Prat Rahu. You can see the code stamp on the back. Here the code stamps from Wat Nai Tao. Beautiful Rahu coin. And this gone to powder amulets for a moment, for a while. This is beautiful Somdet Jom Si of 2519 BE. Yeah. Somdet Jom Si of 2519 BE. Released in Khon Kaen. Yeah. At Wat Jom Si. And known that the blessing ceremony was blessed by Luang Por Kun. So this is played with and collected by devotees of Luang Por Kun as an amulet of the pantheon of Luang Por Kun. The Somdet Jom Si 2519 BE was also released in various colors, painted colors. This one in black, green and gold, with skin tone or earth tone, the same earth tone as the Muan San, with Yant on the back. Lang Yant, Somdet Jom Si, beautiful amulet. That's a beautiful amulet. So now another powder amulet. This is from Jiao Kun No, Loop Muan. Had two in the shop, but this particular one is in Ner Pong Om Kiao, a slightly greenish tone. A slightly greenish tone to the amulet, and is the preferred of all different colored Muan San of this particular amulet. I'm not sure what year, I can't remember. I think it was 2513 BE. I'm not sure. And just for a moment. This is the Phra Chao Tak Sin from Wat Po, not the Wat Po where you get you can see the code stamp on the back, not the Wat Po where you get the massage. It is another Wat Po, yeah. And very nice indeed. Very nice amulet indeed. For those who like royal amulets and historical amulets, and for Thai people especially, is Phra Chao Tak Sin Maharaj. Yeah. King Taksin Maharaj. Yeah, in war with the Burmese. Very beautiful amulet. And next one, we go to Luang Por Ot of Wat Jan Sen. Luang Por Ot of Wat Jan Sen is he was famous for Somdet and for Tiger Wita and for Pitta and many other kinds of amulets. This amulet was released in Ner Dang, Ner Pong, and also with a bit like this one, Kluap Ya, with a glaze on it or without a glaze. Somdet Jaren Suk, yeah, Jaren Sap, sorry. Somdet Jaren Sap from 2531 BE. So towards the end of his era. Late mid-era, I mean. And was released also in a special version in black lacquer mixed with herbal powders with tiger skin inside, which was a special on-crew version. And have 3 of those. They are very highly collected. Lumpur Ot of Wat Jan Sen in Thailand, very highly collected within his circle. Lesser known. This is a different series, also by Lumpur Ot of Wat Jan Sen, with the Trayang of Wat Jan Sen on the back. Lumpur Ot was a Luksit of Lumpur Rung of Wat Si Nuan, and learned his magical Wicha of the tiger Wicha, which is very difficult to master, and used various powders in this series from Lumpur To and Pong Ichije and Maharaj of Lumpur Nuan, Pong Wiset of Lumpur Sot of Wat Pak Nam, and powdered amulets of the group Wat Chana Songkram hiding place find from the group Wat Cool Salad hiding place find as well. Magical herbs, geison, pollens, and flowers from monks who were, when they pray to Buddha, they give flowers. So very sacred ingredients indeed. And this one is Kluap Ya, prepared with the glazed surface, and not very expensive, but they're not cheap. You're looking at about 120 bucks these, so they're not cheap, and this is about 150 bucks. Very, 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 very highly collected. This one is more expensive, much rarer. These you're looking at about 90 bucks, 89 bucks. Here's another beautiful one from Lumpur Khen of Wat Tam Khao Ito, who is famous for Saliga magic and various kinds of talismanic charms. Yeah. Had his own special kind of magic, and his talismanic charms are very inimitable, as are his powder amulets. His powder amulets are very rare. So for those who have talismans of Lumpur Khen, of Wat Tam Khao Ito, this is a very nice amulet to have. I can't remember what year, but it's an old amulet. After this, I'm going to show some Kun Pen 15 in this. Just for a moment. This is from Chao Kun Pon of Wat Nang from 2512 BE, but was blessed by Lumpur To of Wat Pado Chimpli, who was present. Or was it Lumpur E? Lumpur To were also present, and Lumpur E. So it's actually a Pitta of Lumpur E, but done by Chao Kun Pon, if I remember correctly. I was very much into this amulet very many years ago when they found some in a hiding place, and some appeared back on the marketplace. Chao Kun Pon, yeah, from Wat Nang. and Luang Por E is from Luang Por E, but Jiao Kun Pon released them, and I believe, if I remember correctly, Luang Pu Tok was invited to make the blessing ceremony. So put that back, and now look at Kochasi, the elephant-headed Himapant lion from Luang Pu Rien of Wat Nong Bua, the Luksit of Luang Por Yim. Actually, this is bordering on being from Luang Por Yim himself, actually. I received it as from Luang Pu Rien and had a blurry picture, so I knew, though it was real. You could see, this is one you can see with the bare eye. You don't need to look under the eye loop at all. You can see the age of the wood. And Luang Pu Rien of Wat Nong Bua, famous for his Pita, Kochasi, Somdet, Sao Mai Bod Gat, Somdet carved from the legs of the wooden guti huts the monks sleep in. This looks like Mai Nghiu Dam to me, sacred black Nghiu wood that is believed to be inhabited by a deva. But to be honest, it's definitely Wat Nong Bua. But if it's Luang Pu Rien or Luang Pu Yim, I'd have to look very carefully for the age, because it might have been made at the end of the era of Luang Pu Yim, the Kruba Ajahn before him, 200 to 150 years ago, I believe, somewhere around that. And Luang Pu Rien, if it was at the end of Luang Pu Yim's era and the beginning of Luang Pu Rien, then it's very hard to say, because that's what I call a crossover period. So if I was to put this in the shop, I would probably say Luang Pu Yim and comment that although I put this as Luang Pu Yim, if one was very lucky, one might get from the earlier master, although both are equally regarded. Luang Pu Yim's amulets are usually somewhat more expensive because he's the preceding original Kruba Ajahn, but Luang Pu Rien managed to gain the same status as far as people regarding his magical power were concerned as Luang Pu Yim. So as Kochasi, Himapant lion for Maha Amnat, Serm Barami, Serm Yod, Maha Pokasap, Maha Lap, good to increase your profession, commanding power and dominion, protection, yeah. And for those who have to get people to do their bidding, yeah. So this is from Luang Pu Thub of Wat Khe Nang Leung from 252 OBE, a beautiful Rien Prat Kanajan, yeah. Monk coin, Guru monk coin of Luang Pu Thub, yeah. Wat Khe Nang Leung, also very famous for his somdets, very hard to find, but very beautiful. Hard to find in very good condition. This one not for sale, it's mine. Luang Pu Cha Sopato locket from Wat Nong Pa Pong, my Kruba Ajahn, the greatest teacher of modern times of Dhamma. And this is from Luang Pu Khao of Wat Tham Klong Thom, very beautiful condition coin from, I believe, let me look, just looking to see what year, because I can't remember. Oh yeah, from 252 OBE. 252 OBE. Beautiful coin from Luang Pu Khao. of what Tham Gong play. And now another game from Lumpur Ot of Wat Jan Sen, who I was talking about, who is one of the great masters of the late 24th to 25th century Buddhist era. Yeah, Lumpur Ot of Wat Jan Sen, and Lumpur Ot was a direct looksit of Lumpur Thom as well, of Wat Nong Po, and apprenticed in Vicha to the great Lumpur Rung of Wat Si Nuan. Yeah, and both of them were uncles, so he was a nephew of both of them. So he received powerful Vicha from both of these lineages easily. This one is in Bailan, and you can see with Wan. Yeah, and it's a Pitta. Plot knee. Remove financial difficulties from the very same Lumpur Ot of Wat Jan Sen. So here we have, I'm sure everybody knows, the Pet Mahalab in Payang Nghiu Dam. They were inhabited sacred black tree wood from Lumpur Am of Wat Nong Gabok. Absolutely beautiful. Pim Yai, a large one, and you're looking at about shop front price about $600 for that. Yeah, but VIPs, as they know, can ask me through my line, my WhatsApp, or iMessage, or email us on thailandamulets@outlook.com, or line ID Thailand Amulets, no @ symbol. So it's very, very, very nice. Very nice. You can see the inscriptions. You can see the age from the crab inside. Lumpur Am of Wat Nong Gabok. So many different amulets and temples and names of masters, to remember. Lumpur Lian. Sorry, I'm just talking to myself. And this is Lumpur Ngan, Wat Bang Klan, Run Phá Kham Run. Yeah, which I believe is Pet Yim and Kita, I believe. They have different models. Yeah. Run Phá Kham Run, which means the sky broke open, thunderbolts and stuff. Phá Kham Run happened during the ceremony. This is a very famous edition, highly preferred because of many protective Kongrapan stories of Klong Thom and Kongrapan, bulletproof, and the bulletproof stories and the car accident stories. Once again, metallic amulets. Pat Pitta Hu Kra Tai, Lumpur Nak, Wat Hoi Jorake. You can see the inscriptions. Can you? There are yantra inscriptions on the back. Very hard to catch the light. You can see inscriptions on the back. You can just about see them with this light. If you look under an eye loop yourself with the naked eye, you can see the inscriptions. You have yantra on the back. And they are not later editions from Wat Hoi Jorake. They bring out almost every year these amulets since Lumpur Nak passed. Every abbot has always brought them out, and every edition sells out and are quite expensive, even posthumous editions. But these are not posthumous, these are originals of Lumpunak, of Wat Hoi Jorake, made from alchemical metallurgy, made using alchemical metallurgy. Yeah, with hand inscriptions, which I promise you, you can see, but it's very hard in this light. With this kind of metal in make a pad, alchemical metallic substance. You can see the crab inside that is formed. You can't scratch that off with your finger. Showing its age, because Mekasit, much like gold, does not really, well, it can if it becomes hundreds of years, but doesn't really kind of bubble up or anything. It stays smooth. So it's a crab inside here that shows you how its age. And the metallic substance, of course. Sacred photo. Luang Pusuk, Wat Pak Klong Makam Tao. With the yan puts on the rear face from Wat Pak Klong Makam Tao. And judging from the age of this photo, I would say reaches Luang Pusuk. Luang Po Samran was the abbot after him, but this photo touches on the era of Luang Pusuk, so I would say Luang Pusuk. This is Luang Po Choi, very, 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 very rare, each one of them, and so difficult to see. This is Pimegadum, Pita Pimegadum, Ina Pong Chumrak. And this is I collected 3 of them, all 3 Pim. Another Pita. And this is the Wajarod, or has another name, I can't remember. I collected all 3. Really rare. You can see the fingerprints in the lacquered powders. And those are 3 classic amulets that VIP only, not going in the shop. You have to contact me online, Thailand Amulets, WhatsApp at johnspencer@gmail.com or thailandamulets@outlook.com email. Or you can iMessage me at johnspencer@icloud.com. But don't email me because I don't check that email. So there you go, these beautiful amulets of Luang Po Choi. Here we have Prat Putta Sihing, Ner Tong Dang, Prat Putta Sihing, Prat Putta Sihing, Nakhon Si Thammarat, yeah? Beautiful coin. And released in August 2537 BE. In Ner Tong Dang, you can just see the sheen there. Beautiful. Riem Pam. And you can see file markings. But it's a pump coin and then been filed down into perfection. Many people, many foreigners like the Prat Putta Sihing. So this is in Sivichai era Buddhist art style, which you can tell by the slightly plump Sri Lankan style stomach, which shows it's from Sivichai, southern, as the Buddhists from Sri Lanka came over to Thailand and brought their influence. And because in India they started creating Buddha statues about 300 years after the Buddha, when Alexander the Great came over the Himalayas with his elephants, they saw the Greek statues. So when India and Europe started to communicate and trade, they saw the beautiful Greek statues and they copied the style a little bit. So the first Sivichai era Buddhist art, Buddha images were quite plump like this, like an Indian Buddha. And if you can see the hair, quite thick, curly locks, and that's because of the Sri Lankan style. So Praputa Sihing is Silapat Sivichai style Buddhist art. Yeah. And this is a Mak Toi from Chao Kun Pon of Wat Nang, and one from Luang Pu Iem of Wat Nang. I wonder which, if you know which is Chao Kun Pon and which is Luang Pu Iem. Shall I tell you? Or do you want to comment? VIPs can ask. Well, if it's from Luang Pu Iem, it will be much older. They're both old. One will be from somewhere between 2500 to 2510 BE or 2512 BE, and the other one will be from much longer before, much older, preceding Krubajan. So I would say look at the rings, look at the copper ring of this one and the Muan San inside. Mak Toi means it's like a betel nut, areca nut. Okay, I'll tell you, Luang Pu Iem, the small one. And this one, Chao Kun Pon. Okay, so this would be cheaper, it's bigger, but it'd be cheaper than this one because this is very, 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 very rare and old. And look at the cord, look at the age of the cord. And the Muan San. And the rings. Although the rings could have been changed, you know, it might have once had a ring like this, because the cord does look very old. Does look very old. And some experts would drill a hole. They would actually drill a hole. I wouldn't do that. I really wouldn't. But they do it with Takrut as well of Luang Pu Iem, not Wat Nang, another Iem, to see the inside. But I wouldn't do that because it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So I would say, I have a look at this, but I will now say Chao Kun Pon unless I decide the cord is old as Luang Pu Iem. But this is typical Luang Pu Iem's aging. Yeah. So this definitely Luang Pu Iem, and this one Chao Kun Pon or Luang Pu Iem. It might be Luang Pu Iem, it's very old outside, but the ring, so the ring must have been changed. Can that have been changed? No, that can't have been changed. Chao Kun Pon, not possible to change the ring without breaking, without showing signs. So Chao Kun Pon. But this Luang Pu Iem. You see, I don't always, on these videos, I don't always show all things I know and have confirmed already. I like to show you my thinking as I'm looking at them. This don't have to think. No, ผมก็ลาหลังแบบ I would say this Luang Pu Keo, Luang Pu Keo, Wat Pak Thale or Wat Krua Wan. Luang Pu Keo. These ones not certificated, all gone I believe, my certificated ones. This one special because it's not mixed with lacquer, it's just Nuwan. And you can see the Muan San. You can see the Muan San very, very clearly. Very, very clearly indeed. Very, very clear. Whoops. And and this one not cheap. This is on crew, with or without certificate. This does not need a certificate at all, and this would be, I don't really want to sell it, but maybe I don't really want to. I would not sell it for the same price as the ones I've sold in the shop, even though the ones in the shop had certificates. This one doesn't, but this one I particularly like as an on-crew study of the Muan San of Luang Pu Keo, one of his Muan San. And this is in Pongala, and this is the One of Luang Pu Keo, Lang Bab. And you can see the bubbly effect here of the aging of the lacquer. It starts to bubble, whereas on this you do not, and that's because he had an after. He was the mentor of Luang Por Pan of Wat Krua Wan, and this is Luang Por Pan of Wat Krua Wan, whereas this is Luang Pu Keo, and this is Luang Pu Keo. Yeah, but many people would throw this at you as Luang Pu Keo as well. Personally, I would not, because I look at the aging of the lacquer and he used Luang Pu Keo's Muan San, but I can see more Pongala in it and less of Luang Pu Keo's Wan, this reddish Wan. And sometimes you see very, very red with Wan Sabulet. Anyway, 3 there. Luang Pu Keo, Wat Bak Tale, Wat Krua Wan, Luang Por Pan, Wat Krua Wan. And this slightly different powders, that's why. And here's one very much from Malaysians and Singaporeans and Hong Kongians. Po Tan Somdet Jiao. This is Wat Chalong, Phuket, from 2539 BE. Wat Chalong. And those who collect this monk's amulets know who this monk is, and how hard it is to get amulets from. They're so popular, especially in Malaysia and Singapore. This would be about 89 bucks, which is not expensive for that particular one, believe me, it's not. So that's that one gone. I'm going to take the light away a bit, and I'm going to show a look on Pong Prai Koman of Luang Pu Tim with Chanoan. I didn't certificate this, but I was actually showed it to Ajahn Pisek because it's exactly the same Chanoan and Pong Prai that I see in Kumpen I had, which won trophy. But I'd never seen a look-om like this before, a look-om Pong Prai Koman of Luang Pu Tim like this, with so many takruts inserts, or Chanoan, if you want to call them Chanoan beads. I'm not sure how deep they go, but it's the same as a takrut. And I don't know if there's 108 or just an uncountable number in there, but very nice. Pong Prai Koman with gold takruts or gold Chanoan. You can just see a bit of the Pong Prai Koman rising here. So that's very nice. Now we go on to Luang Por. We'll show you one from Po Tan Kling while I was doing pittas. Potang Kling of Wat Klong Thom, Southern Master, highly collected in Thailand, not the cheapest master. You'd be looking at about $100 for this, I'm afraid. Potang Kling's amulets are not cheap. Not cheap. Unless you're talking about something like this here, which is much more expensive, of course, and would say, well, in comparison, that's cheap. So it's all relative, isn't it? So in ว่านสบู่เลือดเนื้อดินผสมสีพึ่งเขียวเกี้ยวสาวof หลวงพ่อทาบวัดหนองกระบอกวัดหลวงพ่อทาบวัดหลวงพ่อวัดหนองกระบอกหลวงพ่อทาบ with his famous สีพึ่งเขียว mixed in, yeah, priols, green priol, and this one is a พิมพ์ใหญ่ no, it's a พิมพ์เล็ก and a พิมพ์ใหญ่. You had พิมพ์ใหญ่ พิมพ์กลาง พิมพ์เล็ก, and this one has gold leaf applied, of course. Very beautiful, both very beautiful, with the blood soap herb, ว่านสบู่เลือดผสมสีพึ่งเขียวเกี้ยวสาว with his famous green priol that catches ladies. So it's a nangwak, of course. That's good for ค้าขายไม่ตามมหานิยม for good business sales. Let's have another look here. Here we have from, I believe, 2538BE, หลังปิดตา of หลวงพ่อเชิญ of วัดโคกเจริญ Ayutthaya master, who also makes the Buddha riding animals of หลวงพ่อปาน, same style in powders, and famous for his Somdet Kirajasi, riding the Rajasi single lion. And this one is a Somdet with the Garuda, หลังปิดตา, yeah, from หลวงพ่อเชิญ of วัดโคกเจริญ, and as I said, 2538BE. And a beautiful metallic somdet, with pitta on the back. Very, 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 very nice amulet. Ayutthaya master. We move on to Ang Thong now. To see from a somdet of the great. Who do you think? With the takrut in the back. หลวงพ่อละมูล วัดเสด็จ หลังรูปเหมือน Unless I'm crazy. No, I'm not. This is from 2515BE, which you can see here. 2515. What's a dead? Beautiful, beautiful amulet. Beautiful. I think I have one in the shop actually with 5 takrut. These are about $100 plus bucks. หลวงพ่อกลวย วัดโคสิตาราม เนื้อผง อิทิเจ หลังพระศรีบาลี This very easy to see its authenticity. Nachaliti is the หัวใจพระชิมพลี Prat Chimpli, with the heart mantra of Prat Sivali. Safe travels, never be, always receive what you need. Mahalap, Mahapokasap, and Benta Mahaniyom. Very, very, very popular amulet of Luang Por Kawai. Now go on to Prat Putta Chinarat, a very popular amulet, and various people I know over the years who have had Putta Chinarat have survived accidents. So I consider this as a well-known amulet for Kleo Klat. A friend of mine was there during the explosion of the Brahma statue in Bangkok when the bomb went off many years ago. And everybody else was hurt by shrapnel, and he was wearing it, and him and his close family around him were completely unharmed. And he wrote to me to tell me about it. He bought a locket. This is from Luang Por Siling Dam of Wat Ta Sung, who was the Luk Sit Ek, first apprentice of Luang Por Pan of Wat Bang Nom Ko in Neur Kalai Thong. Prat Putta Chinarat. Actually, it's not Prat Putta Chinarat, it's not. It's Somdet Ong Pathom is what Luang Por Siling Dam called it, the Buddha statue in Wat Ta Sung. This is Somdet Ong Pathom, but if you see, it's actually more or less like Somdet Prat Putta Chinarat, but it is more refined with a higher Paget Mala top knot, but it still has the flamed arch. So sorry about that. You could not call this officially Prat Putta Chinarat. It's quite hard to make too, because as you can see, it's cut out in the arch around the Buddha. So also very, very nice. From Luang Por Siling Dam, one of the great masters of the modern era. Well, not so modern anymore. Not so modern anymore. So where do I put that? Over here. What else can I show you? Here's one from Luang Por Dang of Wat Khao Ban Dai It. Not sure which year on just offhand. 251 something BE. Beautiful Muan San. Bailan Pasam Wan, with Bailan and Wan, herbal powders and Bailan powders. This is a very, very pristine and perfect example. Yeah. From Luang Por Dang of Wat Khao Ban Dai It. I think maybe about 2513 BE. So, what else can I show you? I could show you another Somdet of Luang Por Chern of Wat Klong Thom. Another one. Different one without a Garuda this time. This is a Brock Paul. And this has been using alchemical metallurgy, you can see. It's had gold mixed in it. And Mekasit, you can see it's... he probably called it Navaloha, 9 kinds of metals, but as you can see, this Mekasit and has some kind of... let me look under the eye loop a moment. Oh, yes, and it has the number 44 stamped on the surface, and it is in Tong Luang, Tong Rakang. This is in Tong Rakang somehow, mixed. It has to be Navaloha. Looking at the back. Looking at the back, there is slight rainbow effects, there is Mekasit effect, there is Tong Luang. This is a very, very not all mixed into one. It's very difficult with metallurgy to mix certain metals and they will separate, which is part of the beauty of alchemical metallurgy amulets, is that each one is different. Different markings, right? So also very, very nice one from another one from Luang Por Chern of Wat Klong Thom. Yeah. Put it back in its bag. Maybe one more coin. Maybe. Yeah, another one from Luang Por Ot. This is the Rienjak Tan. Sorry, I'm probably picking it up. The Rienjak Tan of Luang Por Ot of Wat Jan Sen, which will be is big enough for men, but you can see it's more nice for ladies or children also. Not more, but also. Mostly for men, mostly would wear it, but I like to say that amulets, when they reach this particular size and down, nice for ladies and children, right? So, Luang Por Ot, Wat Jan Sen, what I already said was Luke Sit of Luang Por Rum, and Luang Por Derm of Wat Nong Po, and also a nephew of them. One more from Luang Por Koe. I don't want to take this out of the plastic. Is Somdet Papatan Nai Board. You're looking here in the $220 on the shop front. So out of shop 199, VIPs can ask. I think. Tell me if I'm wrong in the shop front, because I can never remember what I paid, but I can remember how much in the shop front, which means if I say that price, I'm not saying less than what I paid, because I'm capable of doing that, believe me. I really am. Wat Prasad, the 2506, so famous, fourth biggest blessing ceremony in the history of Thai Buddhist amulets. Pim Jiu, Pim Kanan. Also, as I said, very nice for either people who like to conceal or for children or ladies. Especially for children, huh? A tiny little one like this for your little boy or girl. Nice gold casing. I'm blessed by about 245 or so Geji Ajahn Masters using Nerpong Bangkun Prom or broken Bangkun Prom amulets and other Muon San, which all the masters brought with them. Very hard to find in Jiu. Considering the great ceremony, historical value, blessings and power of these amulets, alleged power, one should say, to be legal with YouTube these days. You have to be careful of everything what you say these days. Not really that expensive. Not really that expensive. Not at all. Not at all. And so now, take that away. One more of Luang Por away, and then I show you one of mine, which I'm not selling, which is for Luang Por E of Wat Sattahip, but this one is also Somdet Chiang San. You see the short top knot and this short, not so elongated Buddha, apart from the days and various other things about the thickness of the body, the face. Chiang San is one of the 8 Buddhist eras of Buddhist art and regional Buddhist arts. So this is a Chiang San era and regional style of Buddha image from Luang Por Koe in Nerpong Namman, oily herbal powders, with the kata Isawasu on the back. Yeah, Isawasu. Beautiful amulet. Very, very perfect condition, which is why I don't want to take it out of the plastic. What else? I'll just show in the last video I showed before this, I had some Kumpan and Posa corn which were covered in not beautiful crab grub, but rather filthy crab grub. And I said I might clean them. And you know what I did? And so for those who saw my previous video, some of my VIPs watch all of these videos all the way through. Those of you who saw my last video, these are the amulets which I showed in the last video, which were had kind of bits of grime on them. Like this, you can just see a little bit here. But they were very, very grimy, all of them. And you can see them now. So another day I'll teach you how to clean your amulets. Clean your amulets so that they look nice. If you have any amulets, they might, if they're grimy, sometimes you can get a good price too. And then you can clean them, right? You have to be careful, but you can clean them. Sacred powder amulets. It depends on the amulets as well. Some sacred powder amulets are not dry enough to clean with water, so you have to use a different way and different kinds of grime. But if crab grut and it's beautiful, meaning the mildew stains from the hiding place. This is from the Hinsi Laruk 2537BE edition. Lumposakon, whose amulets are also now completely disappeared from the scene. Or, if you do see one, really expensive, almost as much as his master, his mentor Luang Putin. Not quite so much, but it's going that way. So you can see here, no one, Dok Thong. ผมพุทธคุณผสมว่านนะผมพุทธคุณ 2537BE หลวงพ่อสากล I showed those in my last video, but I just wanted to show that again for those who'd seen it. And I'll be showing some Luang Putin Kun Pan shortly. But I want to make a separate video about those actually. So I can title it differently and specialize actually, we'll do that. So I think I will do that as a separate video. Yes. Last time it took me all night to upload anyway. This is mine, not for sale. Yeah, Pita, Yan Yung or Yan Won. Yeah, or Wajaruat in Mekasit from Lumpur E of Wat Satahib. Lumpur E of Wat Satahib. Beautiful. I'm going to encase it in gold and wear it. So that's just for show. I had one many years ago and it broke. I don't know how, well I do actually. I was on a motorbike. So that was very beautiful. One more from where the temple where my dear mum was cremated. And therefore, I have one in the shop I believe, but this one not for sale because it's from the temple where my mum was cremated and where I carried the coffin up to the Meru cremation chamber. So very important. I don't have this, the only amulet I believe I have left from Lumpur Niyom, a great Sakyant master of Wat Takiantia in Rongpo in near Pattaya, where my mother lived close by and where my mother's funeral was. Lumpur Niyom. Niyom means preferred. Reverend Father Prefer, and because his Metta Mahaniyom, so his amulets are considered great protection and mercy charm. I might have one in the shop, but not this one, not selling, I'm afraid. I did have the Pitta Salika as well from Lumponium in the shop. I think all gone now. So better change the subject of that, and now going to go to maybe some takrut. I'll show you some takrut. I'll show some takrut. This is also from Lumpur Ode of Wat Jan Sen. Also. For some reason it's not focusing, huh? Hand inscribed, as you can see, with tak chuak at the ends, but to leave this exposed. So it's a very nice takrut from Lumpur Ode of Wat Jan Sen. So it's nice to present to you various amulets from a master some of you may never have heard of, but whose trajectory is long and highly revered. And in the near future, I believe these amulets will enter into they're already mid to high class amulets, but they will enter into the annals of fame along with the great masters like Lumpur Suk, Lumpur Pan, and so on. Because for the present era and late present era, monks like this, who have either recently passed or are still alive but are so old that we don't know how much longer they've got left, there are very few who will attain that status. But Lumpur Ode is one of them. So that's very nice takrut. And I'll show you one now from Lumpur Yid of Wat Nong Jog, which is, as you can see, a takrut torn. And it's had some new cords put on it. All been kept in it's actually been kept in its original state. This has never been used. So it's in new condition, which is very difficult to find. You can see the age of the takua, the lead inside. The takrut is old, but it's been kept absolutely in a bag or in a box, or it's been restrung. But this is from Lumpur Yid of Wat Nong Jog, and this is definitely Lumpur Yid Wat Nong Jog. Beautiful takrut. And this would be about in the shop front about typical Lumpur Yid, the seal, would be about with the belt cord over 150 over in the shop front. So out of shop price, $135, and VIPs can ask. VIPs can ask. And if you're not a VIP and you want to buy it by contact, remind me what I said of the price, so I don't have to scrub through this video. Actually, I'll just write it myself and put it with the takrut. Yep. I have a bad memory for things like this, what I said yesterday. And so I don't want to say more than what I said in the video. And I suppose I don't want to say less either, for my own benefit. This is Let me look. It's big เครื่องบิน no ขาบิน no ปีกเครื่องบิน yeah wow yeah definitely see if that was lead you could push it I can't push it and if it was aluminium I could push it and I can't so what it isปีกเครื่องบินit's aircraft aluminium aircraft wing aluminium yeah so just let me have a look because Lumpur Kowe has and Lumpur Sud Wat Galong also has so I need to look at I will confirm this after if it is Lumpur Kowe or Lumpur Sud. I think it's Lumpur Sud. But I will confirm. But that is really rock hard. Rock hard. That's not a takrut that's going to bend. Many of you who wear lead and takrut know that sometimes you can flatten them a bit, yeah? Because it's so soft lead. If it's not thickly many rolls. But this, you can't press it. It's aircraft wing. So the next one, I think I've shown this. Lumpur Nai of Wat Ban Cheng. Great Sakyant master, one of the greatest Sakyant masters of the 20th century. Yeah. Tone, heavy magical lead, wrapped in cord from the great Lumpur Nai of Wat Ban Cheng. This one not too much. You're looking at about $120 for this, which is really good for such a great, powerful Sakyant master and amulet maker of such great esteem of his era. Lumpur Nai of Wat Ban Cheng is one of the more affordable of the great powerful masters of that era. Sorry, needed a drink. And one more from Lumpur Top of Wat Chon Dan or Wat Chang Phuak. Depending, some people will say Wat Chang Phuak, one will say Wat Chon Dan. Look at the age of the lead, and you can see there is two different kinds of metallic scroll in there. There's one inside too, because Lumpur Top, not always, he made from one metal too, but his most preferred are made from 2 or 3 metals. As taught by his master Lumpur Pit Wat Makang, one of his lineage masters. Look at the age of that. Just look at the age of that. Look at the, it's just melted into one, hasn't it? It's just melted into one, the lead. Lumpur Top, Wat Chon Dan, not cheap. You're looking at about $300 for that. A good $300 for that. VIPs can ask. Can come down on that a bit, but this is a pristine, this is an excellent exhibit from Lumpur Top, not easy to find. Quite heavy, I'd say about 60 grams, 70 grams. So there was a few to cook. And now we're gonna, I believe, I'll show you a few Kun Pan because I wanted to show a few different ones, but I'm gonna make another video for Kun Pan 15 sorry, I was putting things away, to actually define each one and spend time explaining each one. So first of all, we can see how at the competition they photographed this. Its certificate. You can actually see it has Pt.1, little Pt.1 stamps here. Yeah, here also Pt.1, yeah, and it's a Kun Pan 15. And you can see on the back, if you look very carefully, you can see the legs of the Buddha, the body, and the head. Is because it's a Pam Sam or a Lang Bab, meaning it doesn't just have the yantra, the Yan Gabong Kwai, which in this case is the thin line version. You have a thicker line or thin line version, which is why I keep saying balls to people when they say there was only one block press. You never do an edition making only one block press because the block press might break, and then you need a spare one, right? So that's why on the back sometimes you can see thin line yantra and thick line yantra. Look at these two. But this one you can see it has the very same Buddha image impressed into the back here. It's a double image, yeah, which means Lang Bab or Pam Sam. The folk call it Pam Sam. The Amulet world people call it Lang Bab. Yeah. And let's look at the real McCoy. We'll look at the real McCoy now. I don't like to do vertical phone things. So this looks a bit bronzy. Actually it is quite bronzy. Quite reddy bronzy, coppery bronzy. But this is where it gets difficult to... I want to make different video for each one of these so I can show close-ups of the Muon San. Of the amulet. You can also see double the yantra impressed on the front face as well. So it's a double image on both sides. You can see the yant here. You can see the lines with Saligaku. This one is beautiful. I wish I could use this thing too. I always go the wrong way. Let's get some light on it. Just can't do it. I can't do it. I try every time and I just can't do it. Need a magnifying lens. I have one actually for this phone. I don't know what it is. This is beautiful. This is really beautiful. Now you can see the Buddha image, huh? Impressed into the yantra. Very beautiful. So, that one out the way. And now we're going to take an unusual one. We'll take an unusual one. With a much smoother Muon San, less sticky rice. It has, but it seems like a much smoother Muon San, which, to be honest, I do not yet have a full descriptive explanation for this particular Muon San because it differs from the classic. It's a much more made with sacred powders, but If you look on the chest on the Sankati, you can see the sticky rice present. But if you look on the surface, it's very smooth, very clear. So it's a finer Muan San, Pong Prai Guman, yeah? And yantra powders. This one has Chanoan beads and Takrut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Takrut in the bag. 2 Chanoan beads. And because of its finer Muan San, it has a very, very, very clear cut imagery. Yeah, and this also comes, of course. There you can see in the photo here. Let me get the certificate out. Yeah. So we can see you can see on the chest there the effect from the sticky rice, but much less in there. You can see probably nerdin with earthen powders as well, which gives it this reddish tone, of course, and must have Tao Long herbal vine tincture. But I suspect the green arising comes through the Pong Prai Guman. You can also see this is probably a piece of bone, of Guman bone or something. Not sure. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 Takrut Salika and 2 Chanoan beads. So a very different kind of Muan San, and very clear. For those who like the clear cut, these finer powders. But as you can just look at the Pong Prai Guman, the greeny. Wow. So a lot of Pong Prai Guman and fine yantra powders in here renders a much more clearer, defined amulet. Look at the hand, the fingers, the long fingers of the hand, yeah? And just the relief, the detail of the relief. So that's another kind of Kun pen, 15, which many people may not have seen, yeah? That is certificate number 0463. So I'll put that back. We're now going to look at, oh my God, they've got bags everywhere. We're now going to look at the Song Pon Yai. You can see it has a thicker here, thicker thumb and hand. And these were probably pressed when the block press was first made, before the changing of the temple name to Wat Lahan Rai, but already made the block press and started pressing in preparation for the changing of the name of the temple in 2515. So I would imagine these were probably begun in about 2513. But the head of the Samakom Luat Ban Kai Lumbu Tim Association always tells me they started in about 2510. Personally, I'd rather say 2513, because I know that at the minimum, if you decide to change the name of a temple from Wat Raiwari to Wat Lahan Rai, you have to ask permission about at least 2 years before. But sometimes it takes longer, up to 5 years. So Ajahn Pisek could be right that they began in 2510. Reason being, on the back it says Wat Lahan Rai, meaning they must have already asked permission and known they were going to change the temple to Wat Lahan Rai. Make the block press, because it takes years to press all of the powder amulets that are going to be released. In the ceremony celebrating the change of the name of the temple in 2515 BE, you change the name of a temple, you don't have a celebration ceremony? Of course you do. So that's why 2517 people shut their mouths, that there's no such thing as a Kun Pen 2515. It was one of the most important years of the history of the temple. They changed the name of the temple. Ubutim received his Samanasak royal decree status fan, ritual fan in 2510 BE, and they made his first edition coin in 2510. How the heck did he not make Kunpan and other amulets in 2515 to celebrate the changing of the name of the temple? These 2517 people, really. They're just pissed off because they bought the wrong ones. And they're embarrassed because they didn't know, and they probably sold some to people. I've never sold a 2517 BE Kunpan. I've told 2517 BE real amulets. There was an edition, but Kunpan was not in the edition. So there's the Songpon Yai. As you can see, it's thicker, but the Songpon Yai, you usually only ever find it in white powders, meaning white and Pong Pai Guman. But this, as you can see, is in Nua Dang or Nua Chompoon, Nua Poon Kin Mak, betel areca nut powders, chewed betel and areca nut powders, and Poon Kin Mak is the cement you use to chew the betel nut and areca nut. So as you can see, it has a thicker body, thicker arms, more muscly. Some people call it the Pimnak Lam, which would be about 2513 or 2510 between 2510 and 2515. Nobody really knows the exact year. They just like to put things in cubby holes. I keep saying it takes a few years of the people helping in the temple, helping to press thousands of each different model in each different color of sacred clay and different type, and each different other kinds of powder amulets. If they're going to release so many thousand of each different kind, and you've got dozens and dozens of kinds, and plus coins and metallic statuettes and takruts and God knows what, you don't do that all in one day on the ceremony. You make a block press a couple of years or a few years before and start pressing them in preparation. For gosh sake, how do people think? Well, until you think about it, it makes sense only when you think about it. But if you think about it, I'm sure you'll say, actually, John Spencer's making a lot of sense there, and if you don't, then you don't understand the point I'm trying to make. This is beautiful with Takut Mahaprab, also with the thin yantra, Mahaprab, Takut Mahaprab. Harder to find with the single Takut Mahaprab. So that is a Pim Songpon Yai, yeah, and differs from the Kunpan 15, which has much longer elongated hands, a much more elongated body and arms, yeah, and legs, and is not so thick, and does not have such this rounded head and the shorter top knot, yeah. The Songpon Yai, also very, very popular. Usually not only found in white powders or with crab growth from burial chamber mildews. There are very few made with gold takrut in them or in other colors. This is the only one I believe I have ever found, I believe, unless I've got one more maybe, in red. All the others I ever had were just in Nepong Paigoman, in white Paigoman powders. So that's a very, very rare red Songpon Yai. Next one. I'm getting a bit mixed up here. Next one is this one, a classic. The photo is, get the light off a bit. Okay. Here you can see the classic Khao Niao Soka. The sticky rice, presence of sticky rice. And in the back, this one has, as you can see, a thicker line yantra, and it has two takrut, and it has the code Sam or the code Pat, the com letter P, or some people call it the number 3 because it's like the number 3. Has 3 of them. Code Sam, they call it the code 3. In Yod Tian Chai with victory candle wax from the ceremony dribbled on as drops, and then the code stamp pressed in. So it has a triple code Sam on the back and Takrut Saligaku, a twin celestial magpie Takrut spells. And this one is interesting that if you see here, there's a little line. Is there? No. Sorry. If there's a little line here on the side, another parallel line, it's a Pim Sao Mi Sen. The pillar has a line, which is a preferred Pim. It's also very beautiful, elongated top knot, and as you can see the elongated fingers, you can see the sticky rice here. Beautiful. Let's look at the real McCoy. And let's take this side view again. I liked that. Helps me to get closer. And you can see the presence of the sticky rice and the Siret on cam. Look at the, although you can see broken surface, you can see, well, I don't know if you can, I can, though. It's very, very hardened. Yeah. I wish I could get the right tone. It's very hard with some amulets in this light to get the right tone. If you're on a 17-inch screen and in HD, this will be, I've looked at this on a 65-inch screen. It's only 1080p, so I think up to about a 21-inch screen will look good. If you're on a phone and you've got good eyes, then it'll look clear. But if you look on a big screen, look at these, the fluffiness of the pung, of the Siret on cam being pushed up with the Pung Prego Man. That's absolutely beautiful, and we can see the smoothness here from the sticky rice, this bubbly effect. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, with 3 code stamps on the back in victory candle wax. Look, it goes greeny, yeah, when the light goes funny. Actually, it's not thick yantra, it's thin yantra, sorry. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? Come on, focus. I kept losing its colour again. So, that is a cow. Yeah. Classic gun pen in cow. Now we take one more. Also in cow. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 takrut and 1. I'm not sure if it's Guman Bon or Tanoan. Have a look. Looks like a piece of Shin Atan in there, but it might be a Tanoan bead. I'm not sure. I'd have to put it under the eye loop. So 4 takrut in the back, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 takrut, and 1 piece of something magical in the back. I'm going to take now. This one is more worn, as you can see, but I personally like this because it makes it easy to study. I'm looking at the bead. It's not a bead. I think it's a piece of Shin Atan. I think it's a piece of Shin Atan. And look at the sticky rice effect here. Here's where you can really see the Muansan. And you can see the bang, the very fine powders in the crevices, the recesses, and around the Ong Prat, the edges. This is Pong Pragoman and Pong Itije, Pong Putakun rising up, the finer powders rising to the surface, whereas the more less finer powders remain within. Not that Lumbu team ever made much of a, what would you say, rough mixtures. He liked to make very well put together mixtures that were all well mixed, which is why they're quite, what do you call that, no lumps and stuff in there. So this you can see watercut in the back with the piece of, it might be a bead, but it looks like a piece of bone to me. A very beautiful exhibit for those who don't like the brand spanking new and see that the amulet has character and has had usage to it. This is tar bronze, not long sire. Tongkam is tar bronze, bronze painted with Pt.1 neat. Some were just pressed as powder by putting a bit of oil and some gold flakes into the block press, and that's the ones where you see the gold flakes. So this sire Tongkam, and put that back in the box again. Just stick that in there for now. Take these two out the way. And we'll look at a red one. Oh, this is a Songponyai as well. Good. Which is also very difficult to find. This is in, looks like Nursi Som, Nursi Luang. It's in Wan Dok Tong. But you can see it has been in group. This one has been in burial, in hiding place. And you can see the shorter top knot, the rounder head, the thicker thumb, yeah, and the feet not so pointed, yeah. And this crab growth, the mildews here, Songponyai. But very difficult to find in Nurluang, and with it, as you can see, there's no rust on gold ever. This is a solid gold takrut, yeah, and very, very beautiful. And this is the thicker lined yantra. This is the thicker lined yantra, you see. So let's take the real McCoy. And zoom in and bring these in here for some nice background visuals. Bit in here. And there you go, the Songponyai Wan Dok Tong. Absolutely beautiful. This also very classic. Notice the leaning here. Absolutely beautiful. In the golden flower herb powders with Pong Pragoman, of course, all of them. And some sticky rice, even in these old Songponyai models, you can see it here. เนื้อแกร่งมากเลย This is definitely a beautiful amulet, and it's a Gamagan because it has solid gold takrut. Absolutely beautiful. Should always have a little bit of a ridge here where it's been pulled out the wet clay. If it doesn't, completely flat with none at all. Some of them will even have a lot folded. This one has very little, but it has. Yeah, around the edge here, raised. Should always look for that. See the line there? That's from the block press. This line here. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. So, ทรงพลใหญ่ พิมพ์ทรงพลใหญ่ 1891. And just have a look at the third again. Why is that so? The Song Pon Yai. Beautiful, huh? Absolutely beautiful. So, all of a sudden, I'm getting a lot of reflections. And what's this? I just have to check here. What have I got here? The Song Pon Yai. And this one. Getting lost. Yeah, that's the Langbab. The Langbab. That's the Langbab. So, these two over here. One more, and one more, and one more. I have 3 more to do, and I'm going to make another video for Kun Pen afterwards, especially. This isเนื้อแดงเนื้อว่านสบู่เลือดผสมข้าวเหนียวสุกผงไพรกุมารผงไพรกุมาร blood salt herb powders and ข้าวเหนียวสุก amongst other things, of course. That's just to simplify, right? And this, you can really see the sticky rice on it. This is beautiful. No grang. This marbled fossilized effect. Look at the beauty of the hands, the clarity of the line of the Jivara roll, the visibility of sticky rice. Always, I always look here to see the presence. The aura shimmering around it has a beautiful aura to it with the black and red, the blackened effect on it, which I particularly like. I can see this fossilized kind of hardened stony effect. Each Muan-san is different, has a different effect. And as I said, this ridge, yeah, look how deeply the crud, wow, very beautiful. So let's have a look here. At the real McCoy. Wow. I particularly like this one very much. Very, very outstanding. Look at that, wow. You see the Pong Pai Kuman coming through. Wow. The ridge here, huh? Little folds and chips in them. Very fossilized stony effect. Absolutely beautiful. This one's beautiful. Just look at that. Absolutely beautiful. That's a beauty. Let's have another look. Don't look at my dirty fingernails. Look at the amulet. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? I'll make a special video for this one, just for examination of the moon sign with my macroscopic imagery. Look at that. Oh, is that beautiful? That's a really beautiful Kun Pen. Beautiful. Look at the hands here. Oh, look at that. And the chest. Look at the relief on it. Look at the relief on it. The detailed and relief. Wow. Yep. Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. Put him back in his bag. Now that is what I call a masterclass Kun Pen Lumbu Tim. Most definitely. So now, one more of those smooth ones, and to finish with a very strange one that I only have one and I've never seen before otherwise. It was a company I opened and had to close again because the owner of the premises wouldn't give me a letter saying they would give me permission to do business. Yeah. So this one is in Som. Orange. They call orange. Actually, being an ex-monk, being an amulet maker, Andrew C., I know what they call orange, the amulet societies, is basically Nerpunkin Mark, the pink cement used to eat beetle and areca nut, and Wandok Tong, the yellow golden flower herb, together would make the reddish pink go into an orange, along with, of course, the Pong Prai Kuman and the other special sacred yantra powders and the sticky rice. This is another one of those smooth ones which have smooth powders in, so it doesn't have that super bubbled up fluffy appearance, but you can see the hardening with the sticky rice presence. The Saire Tongkam gold affixed from pressing into the Naman Pajau Taksin oil within the block press, and this beautiful orangey shimmer, and Pong Prai Goman, of course, appearing everywhere as usual. And these ones are much smoother surface appearance and much more detailed, as I explained with the earlier greener version. And this one is orange. They call orange. But I can tell you it's Wandok Tong with the areca nut cement, and then Pong Prai Goman bomb powders and sticky rice, Wandok Tong, golden flower herb. And this also has, what does this have? This has, let's look at the certificate. Wow. As I said, for those who like the clear-cut imagery, some like the fluffy ones, some like the clear-cut, some like with gold, some like red, some like blue. Blue ones are gone. I sold my own blue one and really wish I didn't now. It was a first prize and second prize trophy winner, my God. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 to crud, and look what's in there. That's Shin Atan, That's Shin Atan. It's Shin Atan Guman bone. Guman bone inside these. So there you go. One more. Another different appearance, huh? see here and here. Shin Atan inserts. Wow. I never noticed that. That is also an extremely clear cut and unusual model, and I believe the only one I have in orange. I believe, as far as I can remember, I have the pinky red and the deep red Wansabu Lut, but this, I believe that's the only one. So, last but not least, or do I have two more? No, I'll save those for the full Kun Pen video. I have an Chompu, I'll show that as well. But this one, last but not least, second to last but not least, we have here, they say Pim Yai. It's actually a Song Pon Yai again. It's a Song Pon Yai, but on the certificate it says Pim Yai. It's a Song Pon Yai Pim Neom. You can see by the thicker, shorter top knot, thicker lines on the arch, the thicker thumb here. Yeah. Some people would throw this as a Kun Pen 17 actually, which I wouldn't. You can see here, look at this. The Nua. And this is in Nha Dang, and this is a very strange one because it has, as you can see, areca leaf and betel nut with a Pt.1 bead in the middle, 2 solid gold takrut in the bottom, and the code 3 on a solid gold stamp inserted, or a look namo, yeah. So this is very unusual, yeah. In Nha Dang, a Song Pon Yai, and also in red. Nha Wansabu Lut. Absolutely beautiful. And so, do we look at the real McCoy? No, where is it? Here. Here it is. Nha Dang. Please be the one. Yep. So let's do this side thing again. And this is Long Sai Re Tong Kam using the oil and gold flake method in the block press. Yeah. Yeah. Very thick. Song Pon Yai are always very thick. I wish it would stop doing this, trying to automatically try to and somehow Rumpo has made it look like Vishnu's chakra. Yeah. And gold does not corrode. So as you can see, gold takrut and gold lugnamo with stamp, code stamp, and let me get my magnifying glass. I'm not sure in the middle if that's a Pt.1 bead or what that is, or a piece of Shin Atan, I don't know. You can see once again the ridges here, around the edge here, the ridges. Pumpkin mark, areca powders. And I very much like I like this piece of Nurgurn. It's classic. It's classic. Nurjat, very dry, this one. Which is why it doesn't have the shiny marble appearance, but it does have sticky rice. But you can see it's very dry, earthen appearance. And the Pt.1 cam gold flakes, you can see all over, attached, as they were sucked into the clay through the oil of the Namampajautaksin oil within the block press. And on the back, the most unusual insert. That's a one-off. That's a one-off. And a Songpon Yai. Yep. And just one more. Just put him back in his house. Put him back in his house. And last, just another classic one. Bronze Wanit with the bronze Wanit. Bronze Wanit, not the Pt.1 cam flakes through oil in the block press, rather painted with bronze Wanit, which is why it's completely covered, of course. But you can see this is beautiful. Near cow, Pong Prai Guman, white powders, Pong Prai Guman, and sticky rice. You can see. On the Sankatit chest, I always tell to look. And you can see the bubbling up here. Presence of Pong Prai Guman. Oh, I hate it when it goes that greeny yellow. My dog's drinking water. So you can see here some this greenish, whitish, powdery effect coming up is the Pong Prai Guman coming through. Sometimes take on a green tone. Depends the color of the powders it's in, how it reacts. Just like chemistry. There is a chemistry to understanding the chemistry of the reactions of Muon San in amulets is actually an art in itself. So you can see the sticky rice here. This is a classic exhibit of tar bronze Wanit. Yeah. Not as deep as the other one I showed you, if you remember. But this also rare to find with the Kut Mahaprab. 2 code 3 stamps in Yodti and Chai in the Victory Candle Wax drops. Yeah. Oh, stop that yellowy thing. I hate it when the golden color goes yellowy, greeny color with the light, artificial light. And there you go, a classic. That's a classic and perfect kun pen for those who like the golden ones, which are most often seen in books. Not often with these stamps though, because most of the books will show kun pen 17. And Lumpo Tim was much more personally involved in 2515 because in 2517 he was actually ill. He wasn't really up to his full power as usual. And in 2515 he was still healthy and in full gear. Yeah, it was in 2518 when he passed away at, I believe, 85 years old. So there you go, the final and last. And I'll show you some other stuff next time. I'm going to post one more halfway through the month of March 2022. This was Amulet Talk, a VIP update for first half of March 2022. And there you go. That's it. Ajahn Spencer showing you my amulet. Don't know where my other one is, the Pt.1. Not for sale. You can offer me what you want. It's not for sale. I'm not selling it. Even if you offer me $100,000 for this, I'm not selling it. You understand? That's doesn't have a price for me. That's my Kruba Ajahn. Lumpucha, Ajahn Cha. So, Ajahn Spencer for Amulet Talk, my own channel, and for my VIPs to peruse. If they want anything, they can ask me and contact me through Line or WhatsApp or thailandamulets@outlook.com or whatever, yeah? So, Ajahn Spencer saying goodbye to you all, messing around, signing off.